Good evenings, everyone. Welcome back here with another video. And excuse me for being like just laying down on my bed since I'm very tired today. Today I think it's May 18th, Monday on Japan. Today it was a very full scheduled day and very busy day as well. But most of them were just fun things. On the morning, I went on golfing for 18 holes, and then from lunchtime, I went on a lunch with my colleagues, and yeah, that was my day. Um, but there were some news. I mean, it's not new, but rare stuff happening. I went on golfing from my first hole, my first tee off was 4:40 a.m. on the tee off time, which means I have to wake up at like 2:45, 2:50 a.m. and took an hour drive, an hour or a little bit more drive, and went there. I couldn't even practice there and start my day. But since we had started 18 holes pretty quickly, we were able to finish 18 holes at like 9 or 9:15 a.m. And I went back home with my car and then took a shower and then just immediately went out from my house and I went for a lunch with my colleagues. And the new thing is that it was I think it's the earliest time that I had started my golf, and it was pretty good because my day started very early, and since I finished 18 holes in 9, which is pretty early. You can get mostly anything if you want to. And 9, that was a new thing. And one rare thing is that I went golfing with other 3 my colleagues, and 2 of them where I was meeting with them pretty much like I think once in a month or like a little bit more. But the other guy, the 4th guy, is also my colleague, but I think I met him, I think in the first time in a year maybe, and then I started playing golf. I started getting into this golf at I think 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and that was because I went golfing with that specific, the guy I went for, the guy I met first time in the year, and I went golfing with that guy. So it was the first time since I went on golfing with him like 5 or 6 years ago, and now I'm pretty much into golfing, and I'm playing it every single day, and it was kind of like a memorial day, like playing with him, and I wanted to see how much I got better, and yeah, those were my feelings. And actually, what happened was my 18 holes, I shot about like 98, which is so bad for me. I mean, my best score was 88, and that 18th hole, I shot 8. So if I was shooting par or like bogey there, my best was like about 50, I mean 85 or 86, or even like 85. So by comparing to my best score, it's so bad. But yeah, I just wanted to do more. But I felt like I was kind of feeling ashamed. I told them that I was playing golf and I'm practicing golf almost every single day, and my score was 98, which is so awful. Yeah, I hope I could do much better. But still, the only way to get better, the only way to go to the place where I want is to continue. And I know that because these things happens to people, I think people will just quit. I almost feel the same way. But knowing that how hard to continue kind of makes me want to continue, because it's hard for my competitors as well, and that's why. And if it's hard, and as hard as it gets, I feel like I feel honored. I feel that there is a meaning for me to do that. If it's too easy, if it's so easy, I don't feel the meaning of doing it. But knowing that this is tough, and beyond that, there's something. If there's something that I want, I feel like it's so meaningful to face that wall, face this discomfort, and you know, yeah, face this situation and overcome this and get the thing I want. So, yeah, I felt some tough situations. I felt some tough emotions today, but I feel like that's because I want to go there. That's because I will continue. That's because this is why I should not quit, you know, because it will be so hard for them. It will be so hard for people who's trying to do the same thing as me. So by knowing this, the only way to go overcome, as I said, is to continue. So yeah, I will continue on this playing golf, and yeah, I'll try to see how different I will be at the next time if I can play with them. And yeah, so the 18 hole was good, and on the lunch I went with lunch with my colleagues again. Three of them were also there, but it was not just them. It was total 8 people, including me. It was the member I trained um, for about like 3.5 years with them to become a pilot. Yeah, pilot training with them, and we worked together. I think almost every single day. I mean, at the beginning, I think I was about 23 years old. I think, yeah, 23, and I turned 24 and went to America and lived there for a year and a half with them, and be with them almost every single day. Every single day. I mean, at least once in 2 days. Never gonna be not meeting them for like 3 or 4 days. It's knowing what they're doing at least. So we worked together for so long, and because we finished our training about like 3 or 4 years, I think, before ago, we weren't being together as we were before, but now once in 3 months, once in twice a year, maybe around that range, we were having some dinner or some lunchtime, and to share the information we have, and kind of share what we have experienced in our real life flight. But other than that, half of the time, I think we were speaking about the flight, what happened and what we have some questions about, and then solving problems. But half of them is, half of the time we were talking about what's going on in our life, right? I'm 30 years old. The people around me is 31, 2, 3. The highest age is 38. So they're in a very different stage of the life. One of my colleagues, who's aged 38, has 2 kids. One of his kids is already in elementary school, and it's just a very different stage, and I feel like it's very meaningful information that comes from him, about the family and how he organizes it and how he manages it. And some people are buying houses. I mean, like building houses right now, and then those stories are very meaningful. I mean, not precious. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a very good information for me to know. And knowing what they're doing right now, like they're using their off time to maybe ride some bikes, and I don't know, some people are gambling, some people are having some great time with their families, and they're so different, and I feel like it's a good thing to know what they're doing and then kind of get some information and see where I'm at as well, compared to them. Oh, I'm living like this, and then how same I am like them, or how so different I am from them. And it's just a very good socialized thing, and yeah, it was a very fun time. And because I'm not flying, because I'm not even working right now, I was also feeling that, you know, I wasn't sure if I was okay to be there. And it's fine I'm not being there, but I was kind of a little sad if if I wasn't being there. But still, they invited me, um, and then we had a very good time. So that was also a good point that, even though I'm not back yet, I felt like there is a spot for me to go back, and there are colleagues that kind of knows me pretty much well, and then, I don't know how much they are thinking about me, but it was a pretty good time for me to meet them. So yeah, it was pretty good. And I came back today, and then, do my routines and drawings. Because I went on the course, I couldn't take any videos. Maybe I should, but I was going out on the range. On a course with my friends, and it's a time to enjoy. Having a fun time. So I felt like if I take some videos, I might ruin those routines and then the tempo and everything. So I'm not trying to take too much about it. And this time I kind of decided to not take any videos. Yeah. But still, my point is to play golf every single day. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty much well here. Yeah, I think that's it. I woke up at 2:40, 2:50 a.m. and then now it's already 8:30 or something like that in the p.m. So yeah, I'm so ready to sleep, and I'm so ready to wake up in the morning and then do some routines for myself. Yeah, I think that's it for today, and thank you for listening. I'll be vlogging. I'll be taking better videos tomorrow again. So now it's as I said, it's 18th of May, and I think we can say it's it's almost, well, it's not almost, but we're going towards the end of May already, and my D-Day is around at the late July, so it's almost 2 months till I got my time, and yeah, I need to use my time very efficiently and in the way that I want to. And I do think and I do believe that I'm doing pretty much well with my time. So yeah, I'll just keep on doing it and do whatever I want. And but every single time I'm saying this, but I'm not trying to make people in negative feelings by doing what I want to do. That's the balance. I'll do whatever I want. I do and stick on the very core of my feelings that the things I want to do. But if I do something really I want, and then if I make somebody so bad, feeling bad, that's not something I want to do. So knowing the balance, and seeing the results, estimating the results, and yeah, I think that's a pretty much important thing. And so yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening. I'll be diarying tomorrow again, so please see that, and good night.